That's Stephen Che's lock of the year.
Yep.
That came out today.
It was a clip. His lock of the and all the he does for FF Pod. He does all like his season over unders and all that. It was his favorite one of the whole season.
I like it too. I mean, if he likes it that much, and looking at the stats.
If you get the clip, I'll send it to you. I'll find it later. He spelled the way he spells it out. It's strong.
Stephen Che's lock of the year, and I'll listen. By the way, Stephen Che not on the gambling show, but I will listen to anybody's lock of the year. If they say the words lock of the year, I'm going to listen to it. I'm going to at least give you a chance to give it to me. And his lock of the year is Julio Jones over 550 receiving yards.
550 and a half.
550 and a half. He is in Tampa.
He spells it out well, though. He puts a lot of good thoughts and logic behind it.
Well, Stephen Che is a thoughtful and logical guy. He's also one of the world's biggest idiots, but he knows football. He focuses on that. Hello, Rico.
What's up?
How you doing today?
Good.
Good. You look good.
2 tough losses last night, though.
I'm sorry.
Which have already made the waves of the internet, but 2 tough losses. Also, back-to-back on MLB, like they happened. Watch the which one ended first? Watch the Rockies and then the Astros back-to-back. Very, very tough.
Remember your short-lived C.J. Cron for MVP campaign?
Yeah, his homers never took off, but he was an all-star and had a great season. Also, again, it's 75-1, a guy you could root for. Like, it's worth a very, very small sprinkle.
It's okay. Relax.
But now we have an MVP candidate. I don't think he's going to win it, but Alonso's having a terrific year. So,
Who is going to win the MVP in the National League? Is it the Cardinals guy?
Goldschmidt? Or Arenado?
Austin Riley.
Yeah, Riley could win it. Alonso's definitely got to be top like 4 or 5.
Without a doubt. He's going to set the team record.
Honestly, there's enough guys in that mix that a strong month could get it done for you.
Yeah, I think he could.
I've been saying, I do think the National League is a little bit stronger than the American League in general.
That's an interesting topic we can talk about.
I wouldn't say that for MVP.
Let me just.
So if you did league MVP, I still think it'd be Ohtani Judge.
Yeah, I meant teams overall. I should have said that.
I want to.
They're probably deeper.
Interesting topic. All right, so it is Win Total Wednesday.
Yes.
You armed with win totals?
Yeah.
Are you armed with a win total?
Yep.
I have 2. I might fuck around and do 3. I'm just saying. I might fuck around and do 3. I don't know if that's allowed. Although
it's allowed.
It is my show. There is one that I've stopped myself from doing. Like every week, I stop myself from doing this one because I don't want to look like a square. But I might give it out today. I'm just gonna have to give it out today now. So
you said it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to give it out. So I'm probably gonna have 3.
So anyway, why don't we break it up and do one right now?
Right now.
Blurt it
do
right
that
now.
one first.
Right off the top.
Do the chalk one first.
Right off the
All right,
fucking
so
top.
We could also play the guessing game. You said square.
Uh-huh.
National title contender?
Uh-huh.
Well, yeah, it's either going to be an Ohio State or Alabama, like over under.
I already did Alabama, a couple.
Right?
Yeah,
so Ohio State
it's
to run
Ohio State.
Ohio State to run the table.
I was thinking I gave that out last year. I don't want to play that game 2 years
It's
in a row.
Ohio State. It's Ohio State over 11.5 because I don't think they're going to lose. I think they're the class of their league, and it's plus 150. It's so many of these are in the margins. Like I got one today that's like minus 160. I don't like giving out something that's minus 160. But if you can find a win total,
well, that's just math.
If you can find a win total of plus 150 for a team, it's 11.5, and I think they're going 12-0.
Well,
they're going to be favored in every game.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Favored in every game. You have now turned a minus sign into a plus sign.
Correct.
How could you possibly pass up that opportunity?
I think it's
basically saying in every game, like you're rolling it over, but Ohio State is plus 150 to win that game. And then it's obviously progressive, but in their hardest games, you're getting Ohio State with a plus sign against it.
I think there are 2 elite teams this year. I think Alabama is more complete, therefore look more elite. I think they're not going to be challenged in the SEC, in my opinion. And I don't think Ohio State's getting challenged in the Big Ten. I think they're going to kill Notre Dame to start the season. People say, oh, yeah, well, they were this last year, where they were soft last year, they were this. Yeah, teams change from year to year. And guess what? If you go out and get the best defensive coordinator in the country to come in and put some toughness in, that's probably going to happen. So, and it's not like Michigan this year, who's in their division, will not be as good as they were last year. Michigan State will not be as good as they were last year. Where's the opposition coming from?
Where's the trick road game? State Penn,
yeah.
Michigan State. List me off the road potential.
I'd have to look at the schedule.
Going to Iowa? I don't think so. I
think Penn State is one of them.
You all know, listen, first game is a test, obviously Notre Dame, but you're a 15-point favorite, 16-point favorite? That's a slippery slope because they were how many points were they laying last year to Oregon have? 14?
Yeah, I think it was 14.
So that's a slippery slope.
It is, but okay. So
the tricky ones are really only Penn State and
Michigan State.
Penn State, Michigan State.
Are they away, both of them?
Yeah,
No.
and maybe Maryland if you want to say, but I still think we just own them. I mean,
There was a game, they smashed them.
They get Iowa at home. They get Wisconsin at home. They get Michigan at home. Like all these things, I just don't see. And yeah, Michigan State. We saw the difference in the programs and the talent last year. And then Penn State is sneaky.
Yep.
I think Penn State's being very disrespected right now.
They always play us tough too.
But you said it right away, right? We might
quarterback problems.
Clifford's is not good.
They might be trying to fire Franklin after week 1.
If they lose to Purdue, I think he's on the hot seat and he's fighting from behind all year.
Exactly, yeah. So what do you think the Michigan line is going to be, Ohio State, Michigan?
Well, I mean, we don't know what the season looks like.
It's just so deep in the year.
If I had to do it right now, I would put it. I'd put it around about the same as the Notre Dame one, like between 14 and 17. Notre Dame's objectively a better team on paper than Michigan is.
I was going to say a little lower. I feel like
I don't know if they'll ever.
Even though last year
get that high.
Even though last year doesn't really matter, I still feel like it'll somehow have an effect. Like the number I had in my head was like 10, 11.
I just think if Notre Dame is 15 or whatever it is, I think Notre Dame is just as good, if not better, than Michigan on paper.
Michigan just lost so much on defense.
So much.
And you're seeing already like Hutchinson looks great.
He really does.
He looks really good.
He really does. He looks a lot better than I thought he would look.
Is this the norm or was this the one-off? Yeah, Harbaugh got the best of Day, right? And they beat him with a phenomenal defensive performance. You can't take that away. Yeah. But for the 4 to 5 years before that, Ohio State had him every time.
To me, 9 years before that. To me, Michigan's story about beating Ohio State last year wasn't that Michigan's defense was very good. It was that Michigan's offensive line turned into, 800-pound gorillas that day, and we're just beating the shit out of everybody and just mauling Ohio State. And I really think with Jim Knowles, the new defensive coordinator, it's not like Ohio State had a talent problem. They had a scheme and a little bit of a pussy problem. Like they when they would get down, they'd kind of just lay down. I don't think Jim Knowles is going to let them do it.
Everything I've seen from this offseason, they've been raving about the defense, the way the D-line's taken to it. I mean, what they're talking about, they've been basically saying everyday scrimmage, it's a dogfight. Yeah. I think that says a lot how talented the offense is. If it's a dogfight, I think the defense is going to be totally different. I really do.
So it is Win Total Wednesday. We're going to talk a lot of college football today. We'll talk about some other sports. I got to tell you first, Skrill is the best digital wallet for gamblers because it was built for gamblers like Rico Bosco and Big Ev. Sophisticated gamblers use it to manage their bankroll when whether they're playing games like poker or betting on their favorite sports. They manage their bankroll using the wallet, which allows them to pay instantly and securely. It's payments without limits, basically. You can access your bankroll with instant deposits and withdrawals and draw the cash using your prepaid card. Excuse me, I had lunch already. Let's just say Skrill is the best digital wallet for sports bettors, so it's a no-brainer to create your free account right fucking now. It doesn't say that. I probably shouldn't have cussed, but I'm telling you to do it right fucking now. Make sure to sign up at Skrill.com/Barstool to create your free account and complete the account verification by clicking Follow the Game after registering so you can use their digital wallet today.
You're good. It's a PG-13 rated ad.
Is it really?
Yeah.
It is. When did we start rating ads?
Like 6 months ago.
Fuck. That's a good fucking ad.
Hell yeah.
Just can't show titties, right?
PG-13 movies.
You can show titties?
That's you can once.
All right, so we'll have titties.
Hold on a second.
You can't throw tits and not nipple.
No,
what was Airplane rated?
Huh?
What was Airplane rated?
It might have been R. I don't know.
Nudity's got to be R.
You know what's funny is, you remember when it was a phone-in day at school? Yeah. You used to bring the video cassettes in to watch it. I once brought in Jaws at the end of the year, and the teacher was like, "Dude, no, what do you mean? It's got a naked girl on the cover." I'm like, "It's rated PG. Jaws is rated if you can believe it. The '70s, a wild card, it's rated."
It was such a big day when they when they would play your movie. I brought it in Independence Day one time, and they played it. That was my senior year, I think.
Airplane was PG.
Yeah, and that was 1980 PG though. Not for these pussy ass kids.
Substitute teacher got banned from the school because he showed There's Something About Mary to a 7th grade class.
I can't remember what we watched. I know we would watch. I don't know if we ever watched anything that was really questionable. I guess not. Big Av went to a no fun school. He hasn't saying anything.
Well, no, they wouldn't in 2000. They wouldn't let us pick movies. Like they would never let me pick a movie and play in the class.
You also didn't have the thrill of just having VHS tapes.
We had some VHS tapes. We watched, I think it was 8th grade, we watched Pay It Forward.
I don't even know who that is. Is that Kevin Spacey?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Oh, I heard that's really good.
It's a good movie. It's interesting. It's what's his name? Haley Joel Osment's a little kid.
Yeah.
I actually
his mom's a stripper.
I think I watched it too and don't remember.
And didn't pay attention to it.
I think I watched it once. One of those watch.
I truthfully do. I think I watched it.
The whole thing is you pay it forward to 3 people and you keep moving on and on. It's he made this concept for a class thing in school.
Yeah.
All right. Again, Win Total Wednesday. A couple of things to talk about before we talk about Win Total Wednesday. Every time I think I'm out on this one right here, every time I think he has tweeted the dumbest thing he'll ever tweet, every time I think he has tweeted the craziest thing he'll ever tweet,
I know what you're talking about.
he just does it again. Like there's not a brain inside of his head. He doesn't.
I almost texted it
The most
to you, but I knew you'd
self-centered
see it.
human being I've ever. Can we see the tweet, TJ? Last night, somebody tweeted about something.
Fights.
There's definitely a dark side to being the life of the party people pleaser. I'm not 1/100th of Chris Farley and never will be, but I can relate to some of that stuff. It's a heavy thing to have to carry, to have to always be on in that role. So listen, he's being self-aware that he's not Chris Farley. He's 1/100th of Chris Farley.
Not
But
even.
He's in the Farley mold. He gets it. Like he's in the coaching tree. Like he understands.
I feel for him a little bit about being on all the time, though. It can.
You haven't been on in 6 months.
All right, got it. It can weigh on you.
You and Ben Mintz, just the life of the party at all times.
No, I shouldn't say. I mean, it could be. He's looking. I don't know. It could help
Why
somebody.
are you ruining this?
I thought it was gonna be way worse than what you said. I'll be honest. I really thought it was gonna be way worse than what you.
Well, I think if you watch the clip before it, it gives a little more like.
I guess I.
Have you watched the Farley? I watched the documentary they were
Yeah.
citing. I've seen it. It's tough though. You're like, damn, it's just hard to watch.
Yeah, it is.
I guess a narcissist wouldn't have a problem with that narcissistic tweet, so that makes a lot of sense.
Fair. I hope he's doing all right.
Who?
Ben.
I'm sure he's fine.
Farley, we know how he's doing.
Been dead for many years.
Exactly.
Much like your career in your eyes, right?
Yeah.
Sad Rico's just lurking. I can just tell. He's just laying there. In the scene, Men in Black, at the very beginning when they find the alien hiding under it was Mikey, and he's holding up the head.
Yeah.
And he's got just a blanket around him, and they're like, that's Sad Rico in there. He's holding up a head right now. But if you take the blanket off, you're see an alien sitting there. Are you Sad Rico?
No, I'm good. Win Total Wednesday.
Win Total Wednesday. By the way, Zah, I see it in your face. You don't remember that scene at all.
I was trying. I tried my hardest.
It's the very beginning.
I tried my
It's
hardest.
the very beginning of Men in Black.
I mean, I watched that. That was what, 1996?
97.
I tried my hardest.
Independence Day was 96.
That's another good movie.
Are you a Bad
Very good
Boys
movie.
guy?
I watched Bad Boys the first one. I went to the theater and watched it. I never saw Bad Boys 2.
Bad Boys 2 is better.
I heard it was better.
It's better.
I've heard it was better.
Bad Boys 2 is great.
Bad Boys is fine.
Honestly, sneaky, one of my more favorite movies.
To me, Will Smith became like a super duper star when Independence Day hit.
I still haven't seen that.
There's some
whole thing.
iconic
The whole
scenes.
Independence Day?
Oh, I tried to watch. I've taped it 3 different times in the past couple of 4th of Julys. Haven't been able to watch the whole thing.
I can't imagine not seeing Independence Day. Like
I know. It was around the time when everyone your age was going to the theaters. I just kind of slipped through the cracks. I don't know.
it's the first movie I ever saw on opening night, and then went back and saw it on the second night too.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it was, and that and Twister came out in the same year, and I thought they were the best movies that ever happened anywhere.
I haven't
It's a
seen
great movie.
I haven't seen many movies in the theaters twice. The one I did, which was like torturing yourself a couple of years, was Gone Girl. It was like I went to see it with my girlfriend at the time on Friday, and then Sunday night, like I was back, I think Sunday morning, and then guys, like we were living in a house.
What an odd movie to see twice.
And they were like, "Yo, going to see it," but it was one of those you were like, "All right, fuck it." Like it was entertaining, but some of it makes you squirm. But I was like,
I don't think
there was
I've
nothing on. There was also nothing on TV. I was like, all right. I think it was a
First
bad
movie-
Sunday night game. I'm like, all right, fuck it, let's go.
First movie I ever saw twice was Major League in 1989. Went with my mom and saw it, and then we took my dad a couple nights later.
Also, if there's nothing on TV, movie theater popcorn is kind of worth getting off the couch.
Yeah.
In defense.
Yeah, I don't think we. Yeah, I don't think we go to the movies enough. Like we making an event, right? We're making an event and then go. But if you're like not doing anything, like if you're in a town, we travel a lot. If you're in a town and you don't know what to do that night, go to a movie by yourself and just chilling
An
popcorn.
opportunity
bad.
to see.
A hell of a night.
Definitely.
That's a hell of a night.
Hopefully they make a comeback.
We got when I think they're doing fine.
Yeah.
Although the difference in being up here, I went to a movie when I was down south in over a month. I took 3 kids. The entire experience cost $48, with popcorn,
Down
with tickets,
south.
with everything. The entire experience costs $48. If I did the same thing up here, it would cost
That's a smooth 100.
between $150 and $200. If I take all my kids to the movies, between $150 and $200. Popcorn alone is going to be $60, $70.
See, I so rarely go to the movies like once a year.
Yeah, it sucks, Zah. It sucks having kids.
It sounds terrible.
Think of going to the movies and then multiply it by 5.
I can't think of that.
Yeah.
Less of that.
And you got to make sure these kids don't die.
Yeah, no, you have to at all times. You
Usually
need to
just make sure you don't die.
You have to make sure that your kids don't die. Yeah, that's one of the main objects of parenting, making sure they don't die. But there
are certain places you could get a dinner cheaper than a movie.
Oh yeah,
It's crazy.
a lot of places. I want to talk about before we get to the hardcore college football stuff. Three things I want to talk about. Yankees are in trouble. Yeah, I'm sorry. I know you.
I've been
I know you
saying
keep shrugging
it.
your shoulders.
Well, I posed this question a week ago, and I said to him, "Big deal, little deal."
It's
and that was
big
only
deal.
against the good
I've been
team.
saying it's a big if things don't turn around before the playoffs, it's a major deal.
I mean, we're more than a month now. I mean, like it's
no, it's bad, but
they're
I'm saying-
lifeless.
No, trust me. I see it. I watch it every night. It's bad. The only thing I've been saying we stink. I've been hanging on to that. There's still like a month and a half left.
Yeah.
If all of a sudden, even in like 2 weeks, if we just turn around and catch something before the playoffs, like I'll feel fine. Trust me, if we limp like this in the playoffs, I think we have zero chance.
Well, let me ask you this: the Mets had all the momentum in the world. They won 4 out of 5 a couple of weeks ago or last weekend against the Braves. They were flying high. If they're in the middle of a complete shit kicking in Atlanta, does that undo everything?
Not everything, but you have to look at, again, like going to Atlanta has always been difficult for us. Walker tweaked something, Carrasco, they're saying. So, like, our top rotation that was carrying us, and people are already, like, anointing us in the World Series. Hey, they got 5 guys who could ready to go. You cut that down to 3. One of them is a ticking time bomb in DeGrom, knock on wood. Like, he's good, but it's only a matter of time. You would, worst case. This could be, tonight is a.
Tonight's key.
Well, you have to win one of the two, but I also think this one is the most. I think they're going to get DeGrom because he's more. I feel like he just gives up higher. He gives up home runs, and Atlanta's bombing the ball. I think tonight also stops the bleeding. I said they were probably going to win 3 out of 4, but tonight stops the bleeding.
Yeah.
So
Tonight would help. Yeah, you got Scherzer.
and again, if you stop the bleeding, take 2 out of 4, or let them take the 3 out of 4. It cuts to 1.5 or 2.5, whatever it is. You got to just run through this schedule because we are playing the Sisters of Poor. So just run through it and we'll be fine.
I know neither of you have ever been to the Atlanta Stadium.
No.
But that home run last night by
Dude.
by who was it? Chapman?
No. Olsen.
Yeah. Olsen. Thank you. Yeah, I always get by Matt Olsen. That home run was listed at 443. I've been in that stadium. That thing went 475.
My brother,
I'm
in a group text with all the Met fans, and my brother goes, I'm listening on the radio, and they said over the chop house out of the stadium. I was like, dude, it looked like it got hit with a golf club.
It didn't go out of the stadium.
Like accurate. I mean, it was a fucking bomb.
It was unbelievable. I saw that on Twitter. It said Matt Olsen home run 443, and then I saw the home run. Like, that went a hell of a lot longer than 443. That was a fucking bomb and a half.
I mean, it was a bomb.
And that's just one of those. Like, I was watching the Mets broadcast on the replay, and it was just like, there goes a majestic home run, and that was pretty much all they said. I was watching another one the other day when they were mad at, maybe it was yesterday, they were mad at Contreras or something.
No,
Mets broadcast was mad that he was using the song.
They were actively talking shit about him.
They were actively when he hit a home run.
And they were saying he shouldn't have been an all-star.
Right. Yeah.
And then he hits like a 450-foot home run in the
the Braves are, the Braves are taking shots at
The
us.
reason I'm saying that is I like that.
I do too.
I want
love
the announcers talking shit about the opposing players. We don't do that enough in sports.
I also think if it's harmless, which it is,
here's
the Braves guy using that and getting under our skin and possibly getting under Diaz's skin. Okay, that's fine.
Let me tell
that's
you.
what sports is supposed to be. We've hated the Braves for 20 years. We've never beat them, but
this is what sports I believe needs more of. In sports, players talk shit to players, coaches talk shit, fans talk shit. Announcers just sit there and try to go right down the middle and talk a little shit. Like, make it interesting, make it fun, it's a barbershop. It's a release.
Healthy.
Healthy.
I do have a major problem with people
too far.
going to a stadium looking to get into a fist fight.
Well, that I
have a fucking
that's
major
different.
problem.
That's different.
I agree, but I'm just saying the worst of the worst. But yeah, him using the Narco song is hilarious.
Yeah.
What do you think of Gary, Keith, and Ron's best broad? We don't watch a lot of baseball.
I don't watch a lot, but I know that
they're unbelievable.
The first baseball book I ever really loved was Keith Hernandez's Pure Baseball about 20 years ago.
When he breaks down all the situations
Oh yeah,
in a game, yeah.
Well, that might be 3 nights in August, but he's got multiple ones. But it's unbelievable. Just kidding. So I've always loved him. And is it Ron Darling?
Ron Darling and Gary Cohen.
Yeah. Well, I love Darling and the bad guys won. I saw another book about the '86 Mets the other day. I almost bought, but I didn't buy it.
Oh really?
I remember what it was called. I don't remember why I didn't buy it, but it was. I see the bad guys won in a used bookstore all the time, and I almost buy it every time, even though I haven't. Okay, so number 2, Zach Wilson had his surgery. Could be in play for Week 1. Best case scenario for the Jets. Like it's maybe you dodge a bullet here. Maybe you dodge.
We see Flacco's fucking stats the other day.
Did you sneaky see they asked Garrett Wilson about the two of them? And he kind of very nicely basically said that Flacco was better.
Oh, I didn't see that at all.
So they asked him the difference.
I heard about this.
And I could tell, and I know him a little bit personally. He's a nice kid, got a head and the shoulders. He tried to maneuver it as best he could, but he kind of he basically I think his direct quote was that Flacco throws a more receiver-friendly ball.
Yeah, but that's also a bullshit question to ask a rookie.
It is fucked up.
That's
what do you like?
Question to ask a rookie.
Because it was funny because the comments were as opposed to Zach Wilson's DB-friendly ball.
Yeah.
But I mean, the little video montage they look in camp. I know Flacco looks good.
Rico, are you prepared to talk about Zach Wilson for 2 minutes?
Yeah.
Do that.
I'm not a believer.
Do that because I got to go pee, and when I come back, we'll get into Win Total Wednesday.
So, yeah, I mean, it's against it on Che. It's just, I guess, Che's from here too, but he's watching the Bucks as his prime. Like, I'm sure he has the Bucks as his main.
I think he's more.
Yeah.
Well, I think he more feels the whole team, which I agree. Like the team as a whole.
I like the coach. I like Saleh.
I do too. I think they did a good job with the draft. Losing Becton was tough, but they signed Dwayne Brown, so at least they filled that spot at tackle. I mean, I think Wilson's obviously I'm like a homer, like I know the guy, but I think he's very legit. I mean, I really like Jermaine Johnson too, the D end. I mean, Breece Hall's gonna have a big impact. Why am I drawing a blank? Who's the? Oh, fucking Sauce Gardner was my favorite guy in the whole draft.
Yeah, he was.
I legitimately like Sauce Gardner. I legitimately think is like a defensive game changer. Like
Revis type.
I think he's I think that's a lot to put on somebody, but I think he could potentially is that type of good. Like put him on one side of the field and you're just don't worry. Like his guy is good. Like you got his guy.
Yeah, I think there's a couple elements of it. It's also the eyeball test. Like what I've watched from Wilson, I don't. Now listen, I loved him in college. He won me a lot of money, but there's stats you can look into of what, BYU did without him against the same quality teams.
Sure.
And we're right there. So, and that guy's not sniffing the NFL.
No.
So it's
not.
Is Zach Wilson that good? He played against a weak schedule. And it's just the eyeball test in the NFL. I don't think he's ready. Che is basically betting on him to elevate. There's a lot of talk of
year two's the big year.
Trevor Lawrence. There's a lot of talk of him elevating. I don't think Zach Wilson's ready to elevate. I think the Jets' schedule is very difficult. I think when a team gets down and beat up, they're less likely to pull off those upsets as the year goes. It takes a toll on you.
My God, will you stop talking about Zach Wilson? We've been talking about Zach Wilson for 2 minutes.
I'm negative on the Jets.
That's only 45 seconds a week.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I know what I'm doing.
That's impressive if you could pee that fast.
That wasn't a fast pee. I felt like
pretty fast.
Hell, I even had to stand in line when I got in the bathroom. Multiple fast pees involved there. And one last thing before we get to Win Total Wednesday. TJ, can you pull up the Chicago draft TV sitcoms? And I'm going to try to control myself. I don't know who drafted number 1.
That's the glare. Let
me tell you something.
I can narrow it down.
That's a fine show. It's not a bad show. Al Bundy, great character. But in no way, shape, or form should anybody who picks Married with Children 1-1 ever be allowed to compete in this again. That's awful.
I think I have it narrowed down to 2. I would say that based on the comedy, that's White Sox Dave, but I also feel like Carl laughs at that stuff as well.
I mean, I think we all laugh at Al Bundy.
I've never watched an episode. I've seen that YouTube clip of his best insults.
But are we saying best? If you're 1-1, your responsibility is to crown the best comedy ever. And he went with Married with Children.
What would your 1-1 pick be?
Either Cheers or The Office, and I would accept Seinfeld too, because I know a lot of people are big Seinfeld. My actual 1-1 I can't say because it's problematic.
Yep.
But 10 years ago.
He's talking about the Cosbys,
Yep,
folks.
sure is.
That would have been 1-1. I said, life changed. Things change along the way. But that is 1-1 is embarrassing. And I can put together a list of, like, if you're going to have The Simpsons is good. Simpsons is great, and it should be in the top line. I feel like if you're going 25 deep, Family Guy's got to get in there between, like, 10 and 25.
That had a really good run. Did that not get drafted?
No, it didn't get drafted. Some of these, like, Barry?
Boy Meets World is not necessarily like.
I like Boy Meets World.
But it's not necessarily like a comp. Like, there's some shows on there that are like, I'm gonna say, dude, whoever picked F is for Family, that's an unbelievable pick.
So I just said,
that's
what the fuck is Cheers?
F is for Family is an unbelievable pick with Bill Burr.
I would have Cheers way, way, way up there.
It's just a dad who's like.
See, I just never really like. I know what Cheers is. I just haven't really watched it.
Family Guy should be there. Scrubs should be there.
Do you remember that guy?
Parks and Rec should be there.
DJ, you'll probably.
What do you think about Family Matters?
I think if you're gonna have I think Family Matters is better than Boy Meets World. I think Family Matters. If you're going 25 deep, Family Matters might make it. Full House might make it.
Full House, I was gonna say too.
Some of that shit's kind of over the years. It gets like I don't know. Like, can you I watch Friends now. When Friends was on, I was watching it on NBC.
Yeah.
Friends now, I'm kind of like, I don't know. The rewatchability hurts it.
I
also am strictly judging comedies now on like the first watch. I kind of don't like Billy Madison. Yeah, I still say it's.
I don't know. I like rewatchable. The rewatchable is very important for comedy. Like, if you can make me laugh the fifth time I see a show, that's a pretty elite show. Home Improvement could have made it.
Yeah.
I
think people using movie lines all the time kind of hurt it a little bit.
Go up a little bit. Like Different Strokes. You don't want to talk about a show that's just not rewatchable. That's just not. It's just not funny. It's just, It's Always Sunny's a very good show. Curb is a very good show. Like, the second line, getting everything but Different Strokes is very good. But boy, they left a lot of apples on the tree here.
DJ, do you remember watching that show on HBO? It was a guy who had like 3 different ones.
A fucking Brady Bunch.
Oh, that's what it was. Summer Heights High. Has anyone ever watched Summer Heights High?
Yeah, very, very
I have
good.
a penis.
Oh, what?
No.
Dude.
Brandon, it's one guy.
It's one
and he
guy
plays like a
4
teacher
roles.
and like a schoolgirl and the principal at the same school. It's very, very funny.
You don't watch anything I tell you to watch anyway. Can you just watch one episode?
Summer Heights High.
Summer Heights High on HBO Max tonight.
All right.
One episode.
Okay, fine.
Dictation.
I've been watching Nikki.
You've never watched it either?
So who wins? Who wins this?
Put on Prince put me on the Flight of the Conchords on HBO, and that's very good too. That's really fucking good.
Who won the draft?
It's very hard. All right, let me go through.
I think I know who I'd pick.
Entourage is gonna get.
All right, one is garbage.
Yeah,
one's fucking pathetic.
Entourage
2 starts off. 2.
Job.
Hold on. I don't like Growing Pains. To me, doesn't make it. There's Night Court could have made it over Growing Pains. Let me look at 3. 3 is a pretty solid. Boy, the Brady Bunch sucks though.
You know what could sneaky go on there as current is Dave on Hulu.
Hold
Yeah,
on.
very funny.
Little Dicky.
Hold on. It's between 4 and 5 for me.
Has to be.
It's
I think it has to be.
4 is and people hate on Friends, but getting it as a 25th pick is like.
It's strong, good value.
Yeah,
Did that Silicon Valley get picked? I can't see it because he zoomed out.
I'm gonna go 4,
I
but
didn't watch that. But
4
it's hilarious.
4 barely over 5 is my vote.
4's top 3 is strong.
Yeah, very strong. I've never seen The Marvelous Miss Maisel. And Happy
Maisel.
Days is fun to watch the Jump to the Shark clip on YouTube. If you've ever watched it.
Yeah, I mean, it created a pop culture reference.
Yeah. It is Win Total Wednesday, boys.
Yes, it is.
It is college football. It is coming up, and we have, I think, well, Ben Mintz is too, but these are the 3 guys that are biggest college football guys in the room. Usually, Smitty doesn't really care about it. Marty, bets it, but doesn't really care about it. And us 3 plus Ben care about it a lot. So, how y'all want to start?
What if I give
Several
you,
football topics too.
Yeah,
College football
well,
topics.
we'll go quick. I'll give you runners ones because I think next week we don't really have. We can squeeze it in, but
Yeah.
ones that nearly made the cut. Navy under 4.
Well, I think we'll have another one next week. I
right.
wouldn't do this yet.
Okay.
Okay, all right, I wouldn't do that. But that's
But
fine.
I'm not gonna do it, so I'm gonna go find another one. I'm telling you these won't.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, what if somebody else is going to say one of those next week?
Okay, got it.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
You can lead off Win Total Wednesday, though.
Yeah, it's very, very, very juicy. And I actually am interested in your guys' opinion of maybe taking it off the card because it's so juicy.
How juicy is it?
Minus 175, Juicy.
Okay, because mine's today is 160, and I was worried about it. So
Yeah, I'm very worried about it. But I think when you start to make sense of it, all right, so it's NC State over 8.5.
Yeah.
Okay, they got to go get these 7. ECU, Charleston Southern, Texas Tech, UConn, VTech, BC, North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's 7. Give Clemson the loss for this exercise.
Okay.
They got 4 to play with. Florida State at home, where they're projected to be a 6-point favorite.
Right.
At Syracuse, which I didn't give them a win, where they're projected to be a 10-point favorite.
Yeah.
At Syracuse. Wake, potentially without Hartman.
Well, let me stop you there.
Go ahead.
I find it interesting that you included Syracuse as a you got to go get it and not a sure win when you had Boston College in the sure win category or in the I would say Boston College is a better team than Syracuse this year.
Boston College is at home. Syracuse is away. So
Fair enough.
I agree with you. In terms of easiest games, I didn't list the top 7.
Okay.
At Wake, potentially a 7-point favorite without Hartman. That was with Hartman when this was projected. And at Louisville, which is probably a pick'em.
Yeah.
But I pose this question. If you told me NC State only had to go 2-2 in those games, what would you put the money line at? Like, would you still be laying the 75 cents? You know, I don't know. I think NC State has the goods. I think NC State has a lot of trap potential and could lose one of those 7 as well, but then that subs it out. I think NC State, I'm very impressed with their defense, where they're ranked like top 2, top 3 in DBs and linebackers.
Yeah.
You can't pass against them. I like Leary. I think they go get it.
There is a fear that NC State has about the same profile that Iowa State had the last couple of years, where they'd start preseason top 10 and then fall apart. They
really more like top 25.
Yeah, but NC State, to me, if you look at them, they're old. They're old. They're good. They're good at every level of the defense. The only real place they got to replace any production is running back, and I think that's the easiest place on the whole football field to replace production. So they've got a quarterback who's been through the wars. They got an ACC schedule. Listen, everybody on the schedule has problems. Like Boston College, I think, could be pretty good. They ain't got an offensive line. Wake Forest has got
North Carolina lost a star.
North Carolina is just one of the quietest teams in football this year. Talk some more. Okay, I told you to talk some more, and you just sat there.
I was wondering what you're doing. Potential traps on here as well. I think it's week 3. You think?
I think East Carolina week 1's.
I know everyone's saying that. I think that's such a trap. It's not a trap.
Okay.
Texas Tech is supposed to be pretty spunky.
Yeah.
I think if it turns
it's at home though, right?
If the defense, it's at home. If the defense doesn't show up fully, Texas Tech put some points on the board. That one could be tricky as well.
Trivia question very quickly. NC State's home stadium is named what?
I don't know.
Oh, fuck.
I think I know. I believe it's Carter Finley. Is it Carter Finley?
I think you might
Debo?
be right.
That makes sense.
It's ringing a bell.
Correct. Carter Finley Stadium in Raleigh.
Okay. I like knowing the college football stuff. What's Purdue?
Oh, no.
I gotta get on your fucking game. Is that Ross 8?
Yeah, stadium, you know.
You gotta know. You gotta know these things.
All right, yeah, I know.
Ross 8 in Purdue.
Oh, look at that. I got 2 in a row. Just crazy guesses off the top of my head.
Can you do James Madison? Can you do it?
I know what it looks like because I drive past it about every 3 months.
Yeah. Do you know the name of the stadium?
No.
Bridgeport Stadium.
James Madison, if you drive past it on I-81.
Can't miss it.
Going through Harrisonburg, it looks like a top 10 team plays there if you see one side of it. It's like it's really tall and it's beautiful, and the other side is just like where people pull their cars up and watch. Right?
Yeah, it's like it used to be like the track stadium, and they converted it, and now like that side of the stadium is protected by the sports rec management, hospitality management school.
Yeah.
So like they don't want to knock that down.
One
so.
half of the
it's just like
one half of the stadium is not a stadium. The other half is just like gigantic.
Right, it's like a high school stadium on one side.
Looks like Nebraska plays there on one side.
Yes, we played those dings and buzzes yesterday.
Yeah.
I got a DM after the show from somebody on Twitter. Said, please don't ruin the show with the ding and sounds. I don't care if I'm the softest dude in the world, but some of us have misophonia, and that is infuriating shit.
Well, now
misophonia is where one sound drives you nuts.
Well, now I'll tell you
on
what.
2020, I feel for
individuals
that guy.
experience intense anger and disgust when confronted with sounds made by other humans.
I'm not going to say what it is because people will do it around here, but I have that.
Okay, well, that sucks for that guy, and I'm very sorry, but
doesn't suck for me.
You're not going to fucking DM us and ask us to change the entire show because of one person. I'm sorry. That's and thank you for watching.
It is a real thing, though.
I got to figure out your sound.
I bet you want to.
Okay, it's not that. All right. So you like NC State over 8.5?
I do.
Big F.
It's deep in the list, but I do.
All right, this one, the schedule is tough. But I'm basically putting my chips in on a certain guy. Talked about him a lot.
You like to bet overs more than unders.
I do. I only taken one under. It was
Oh,
close.
as I.
This one I'm taking the over just because I just believe in this team and this guy. It's Neil Brown's 4th year. Taking the over in West Virginia because I'm a big believer in JT Daniels.
Is that a 6, 6.5, somewhere in there?
It's 6. It's 6 plus money. 6 flat plus money. The only problem is, which this is what had hesitated me the last few weeks from taking it earlier, they're out of schedule, out of conference is tough.
Yeah.
They have to go to Pitt week 1, and then week 4 they have to go to Virginia Tech. 2 very tough out of conference games. I really think if they could split those, they got a really good shot. I'm just a big believer in JT Daniels. They bring back the entire offensive line, a couple really good receivers, the whole defensive line. Their only real question mark is the secondary. They don't bring back a lot in the secondary. One guy who's pretty good, but there are a lot of young guys over there. But the offensive line is supposed to be the strength of the team, and I think that being with JT Daniels, I just think he's a game changer. I think obviously he didn't play last year, so people are kind of sleeping on him and forget what he did the year before at Georgia. Right. And I said it all last year. You can't say anything to Kirby because they won the championships, and God bless him. JT Daniels is a better quarterback than Cincinnati.
A much better quarterback.
It's a fact.
He had a 5-game run.
I don't blame them not changing anything because it worked, and they won a natty. So, what can you say?
A 5-game run at Georgia where he was elite 2 years ago.
I legitimately think he could be, when the season's done, and there's some good quarterbacks. You have, Gabriel, Quinn Ewers could be really good. I really think when it's done, he could be the best quarterback in the conference, one of the best in the country. So I'm basically pushing all the chips in on just JT Daniels being a Heisman level player. I think 6 wins is too low when you have a guy that I believe is that good. I think he could be a legit NFL guy. And Neil, 4th year is a bit this is his finally your full recruiting class. They have a pretty the offensive line super veteran, front seven's very veteran. I think they're gonna be able to get after the passer. Good linebacking core, so the defense should be solid. As long as the secondary cannot just be putrid, I think they're going to be really solid. I think 7 wins is very, very within reach, and I think the ceiling's high. I think they could sneaky compete for the Big 12 with. Yeah. We don't know what's going to happen with Oklahoma. We don't know exactly.
The conference is topsy-turvy right now. Anybody could sneak in there and win 9 games.
I'm a believer. I just think he's that good. I'm surprised that he's not getting the love that I'm. I feel like. It feels to me like I'm the only one seeing this. I'm this guy's great. They have this great quarterback.
I'm with you.
How many surefire wins do you think they have?
That's the only thing I hear. That's the only tough part.
I think I'll give you 4. I'm not knocking it. I love the plus money. And if you're a believer on a team who's low, you have to go over. There's no problem with that. But it's a tough ask.
No, it is because the only ones that I really think are that they're going to win, and even Kansas is tougher now, to me really is Kansas, Towson.
You're saying at Virginia Tech is going to be tough, and I agree with you.
I think they should win.
Virginia Tech is down.
No, I think they should win, but it's not like they got Towson and they play blop front a MAC team. I think Texas Tech is very winner. TCU, they should win. Yeah. Iowa State's down, they should win that game.
You get Kansas State at home.
They get Oklahoma at home. They get Kansas State at home. I think they can easily get one of those, maybe even 2.
Yeah, there's a lot of back and forth in that Big 12.
They got to play.
Predicted 2nd could also be 1 game above 7th. There's a lot of.
That's why I just think their ceiling's high. Their floor. I understand why it's 6. Their floor could be low if things just don't bounce their way. But I wouldn't be shocked if this team won 9 games. I think they're more than capable of that.
All right, I have 2. Before I get to that, what are the balloons about, TJ?
It's 100K day on the Yak.
Why, thank you.
Thank you for subscribing.
Are we sending it to our subscribers?
No.
We're just going to have it in our office. The thank you balloons to ourselves.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Everybody was asked to bring something for the Yak. I brought something. It's in my bag. TJ brought something under that towel over there, and I can't wait to see what it is. And it's just tantalizing me. I just want to go touch it. I want to see what it is. But I'm not going to because I want to be surprised, TJ. Also, I know where it is. So we've got 2. They're both under today because you guys are doing a love fest. You guys are doing I hope everything works out best. I think my number 1 team here is getting a lot of credit for what they did last year. Well, guess what? We ain't playing last year again, all right? Sauce Gardner plays for the Jets. Desmond Ridder plays for the Falcons. They're not coming back. They're not walking through that door. Cincinnati went to the playoff last year, and that's an incredible accomplishment. Cincinnati's going into this season with unsure quarterback issues. They don't know who it's going to be, and when they do know who it's going to be, they don't know how good he's going to be. They're replacing – their offense wasn't exactly dynamic before, but they had a veteran quarterback to get them through, but they had one of the best defenses in the country, one of the best defensive backfields. Well, they don't have that anymore, and I just don't think this is – I think this win total is way high for a team that – has a lot of question marks. Now, they have one of the best coaches in the country. They have a good system in place. I don't think they're going to win 5 games. I don't think they're going to win 6 games, but I also don't think they're going over 9.5.
Ooh.
Under 9.5 for Cincinnati. That is my pick. And I'm not going to go through the whole schedule. I'll just tell you this. 9.5 is the number, so 3 losses cashes this for me. They open the season at Arkansas, and they have in-conference road games at UCF and at SMU. I feel pretty good. This team is – I feel pretty good I can get to 9, and anything they lose other than that is a bonus. I think under 9.5. And I feel pretty strongly about this one. Like, this is one I still feel the most strongly about Maryland over 5.5, but Cincinnati I would put way up on the list of win totals I feel strongly about. Because this is a good program and a good team, but it ain't a great team, and it ain't a great program. Great programs can win 10, 11, no matter who they lose. And I don't think Cincinnati's there.
Who did Cincy get a gift from? Maybe I'm remembering it wrong. Correct.
No, I think I know what you're remembering about.
Is it a fumble?
No, I think what you're remembering is they won. They got a gift cover or something. No, or it was at the goal line. They were about to score to win by 10, and the guy laid down or something.
They were playing UCF.
Right.
I'll never forget it.
I think
they laid down and then tried to score after and didn't score.
Maybe it was Coastal. I thought I remembered a team fumbling to Cincy and kind of giving them a gift to keep their undefeated season alive.
I don't remember that.
Could be wrong. I'll take a look at the scores. I'll take a look at the scores.
Notre Dame, but they
Oh, that wasn't it.
Pretty thoroughly beat.
It was like an ugly game that was like they pulled out of their ass.
What timing on that shirt?
Yeah.
Notre Dame guy just walked by with a Notre Dame shirt.
Shout out Mulcahy.
Let's see.
Was that who that was?
Yep.
Great guy.
Fantastic guy. How many people in the company did you say great guy about? 3?
Almost. Yeah, most of them.
Goes Jack McCarthy.
Great guy.
I knew I could cash that one. What's up, Cons?
Tulsa?
I don't know. Who fucking knows? My other one is I agree with you. The Big 12 is turbulent. The Big 12, I think a Texas can win it this year. And people say, well, they can't. They went 5 and whatever, 4 and 8. Baylor won it last year. They went 2 and 7 the year before. Like, I think Baylor is not quite as good as they were. I think Oklahoma State not quite as good as they were. I think Oklahoma not quite as good as they were. And this team certainly not as talented as they were, and they weren't very good on the field with the talent. And now Brock Purdy is gone. Now Breece Hall is gone. This one's juicy. It's minus 160, but Iowa State under 7. I don't see it. Like what everybody I think in the Big 12, I think West Virginia is better. Everybody's around the same. But Iowa State wasn't all that high last year with the talent, with Breece Hall. I know they got Will McDonald back, a defensive end. They got a very good linebacker. Other than that, like their road games, non-conference at Iowa. I think that's a loss.
Yeah.
At Iowa, here's the road games. At Iowa, at Kansas, at Texas, at Oak State, at TCU. I could see them losing 4 out of 5 right there. And I'll say they're going to beat Kansas. But then their home games, they got Baylor, Kansas State, Oklahoma, West Virginia, and Texas Tech. It's good that they have them at home, but fuck. I mean, I think they're losing at least 2 of those, maybe 3.
I could easily see them going like 5 and 7.
Yeah, I don't see it with them, and the schedule is not easy. Now they do have the benefit of having their tougher games, like Oklahoma, like Baylor, like Kansas State at home. But fuck, I just don't see it. They got a new quarterback, Hunter Deckers. They like him, but everybody likes their quarterback. Everybody likes their sophomore quarterbacks who's been waiting, and I don't know, man. I think under 7 for Iowa State.
Oh yeah,
it's minus 160 is close to. It feels good.
So you ready real quick?
Yeah.
1 minute and 11. Cincy on their own 3. Desmond Ridder fumbles to the Cincy 3, recovered by Tulsa. Now with 1 minute and 5, Cincy gets the goal line stand because Cincy fumbled. No, Cincy didn't fumble. They just got the goal line stand from the 3. They couldn't get in from the 3 down 8 and potentially could have scored. since he almost gave it to Tulsa and then held them off.
Fair enough.
And if I remember, it looked like Tulsa should have scored. The guy went maybe read a hole wrong. It was a weird ending to a game that could have gone that way.
I think the thing we were remembering was 2 years ago, Cincinnati and
the UCF.
UCF.
I think that was 2 years ago.
Was it 2 years ago?
'Cause I think it was in UCF.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah. So
They literally laid down and then actively tried to score after, and just didn't get in.
I also think that might have affected the total.
I think it affected a lot of things. I think it was one of the weirder gambling breaks of the
Have
entire
we
season.
created a name for that yet? As far as something that fucks the total and the spread of a bad beat?
Like an ultimate bad beat or a double bad beat? Or
Yeah, just keep it in the right, double-edged sword. I don't know, just ballpark.
I could call it a Brandon Walker, 2 beats in one night.
I like that.
Mm-hmm. Just want to get something named and take a shot at myself for masturbating frequently. Huh.
So you don't love your wife?
It's true. It's exactly right. Yes. So those are my win totals. I don't know if we can go through. TJ, did Ben Mintz send you a win total?
No.
Somebody took mine since Seahawks under.
I just swear to fucking God, man. Okay.
All right.
Did Marty Mush send you a win total?
No.
We spent a long time on ours. That's fine.
Did Smitty send you a win total?
Seahawks under 5.5.
Yeah,
Chat.
I gave that on an NFL one. I like
Seahawks
that as well.
under 5.5. Okay. All right.
I think it moved. I think I was at. Yeah, I like it.
Have you guys kind of watched the Manti Te'o doc?
I haven't watched it yet,
heard
so I
it's
can't really
nuts.
speak to it. But I need to watch it before I record Unnecessary Roughness again.
It's wild.
Um,
The only thing I think he comes out of it looking less like an asshole.
does he?
I
I
think
always thought he got such a pass for that thing.
No, but I think look like when you get all the facts and the details of everything, he was far less in on it than I think the public thought at the time.
All right.
Somebody
I think-
had an
I was
accident.
assuming-
Listen. There were some moments that he didn't dot all his I's. Like as someone who has been catfished before, there was a few there were some red flags there.
I'm
but-
sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah, wait. Are you not familiar with how he got here?
Oh, that. Okay. I thought.
No, I didn't get catfished by like a woman, but
Okay,
in
right.
his space.
No. Okay, that makes sense.
No, but it's like there was a couple things that were red flags, but I think overall they went out of their way to really convince him in other ways, and I think they took advantage of like a nice young kid who wanted believe something, and they told him some really drastic shit, and he was trying to be a really nice guy, and I think they just took advantage of the whole thing, and I think they made it out to be like he was this big liar when he found out he basically got a phone call saying, "Hey, I'm not dead." Like the day before the Heisman, what's he supposed to do? Get on the camera and be like, "Oh, she's he was put in a crazy spot."
Yes.
I don't blame him for not saying anything.
I remember when that shit dropped, dude. That was everybody.
And there's a
it was
tearjerker. He got a little rant at the end. I just felt you feel so bad for the guy. You're like, Jesus.
All right. A couple little win total Wednesday little things that Evo added to the sheet, and this is a good question right here. College football. Would you rather be a fan of a bottom third Power 5 team or North Dakota State? Would you rather be a fan of a lower tier Power 5 team, Northwestern,
Kansas.
Ole Miss, Kansas? Would you rather be a fan of those teams or North Dakota State, the best in FCS program in the country?
I say North Dakota State.
I say the Power 5 team.
I think so too. I think just for example, at Kansas, they hired Leipold. Maybe things are going to turn around.
Yeah.
Maybe one day we won't be bottom third anymore.
And and everything's possible in front of me. I could beat Oklahoma. I could beat Texas. North Dakota State's just going to win another national title again.
And no one gives a
and
fuck
nobody's
about
going to care.
But chances are, if you live in North Dakota State, you're from there. You know some of the kids maybe on the team. You're also, again, talking to a guy. I'm opposite you guys, so I'll give a different perspective. New York City does not have college football. Right. I just love college football. I don't have a grassroots team. I didn't go to a big school like that. DeVry wasn't D1. So we didn't have team. I didn't go to a place where I can identify with the team. So hypothetically, if you're just going to kind of be run of the mill, I'd rather be in North Dakota and win championships.
I've had a pretty good time.
Yeah, but not everybody's you. I feel like
I'd rather
not everybody gets embraced by
I'd
the.
much rather be a Rutgers fan than a North Dakota State fan. That's
fair.
Sure.
Well, I mean, and TJ's the first ballot Rutgers fan Hall of Famer.
Easy. Not even a thought.
I also think it lets you. enjoy big power football like year to year, and you could become a fan of a team, like put a future on a team, and hey, I'm all in on Texas Tech this year. They're under the radar, and then like that's.
But there's still the roller coaster ride of like
definitely.
Like even like if Rutgers they're getting better. Like there was a point in time Rutgers was really good.
Those 07 games
in our lifetime, like
100%.
I went to the Gator Bowl last year.
Yeah,
you go through ebbs and flows. They stepped up.
Let's just be careful.
I was there.
Let's be careful with that go to a bowl stuff.
I was there, and the team was there.
Yeah, they were present.
They
were present. There's a certain mode to earn a bowl game, and they kind of went the opposite route. Do you know that Mississippi State did that too? Did I ever tell you that?
No, recently?
Yeah, in 2016 we went 5-7, but the SEC didn't have enough bowl eligible teams, so they because our academics were high, we went to the St. Petersburg Bowl and played Miami of Ohio. Beat them 17-16 in one of the worst football exhibitions of all time.
There's a lot to unpack from that sentence. 2007, the SEC didn't have enough bowl eligible teams.
2016.
What'd you say?
I said 2016.
Oh, got it. Sorry. That's even more amazing to me. The SEC didn't have enough bowl eligible teams in 2016.
Had a bunch of bowl tie-ins, I guess. I don't
After their decade of dominance.
It might not have been an SEC bowl. It might just been like St. Petersburg might not have been affiliated, and there just weren't enough bowl eligible teams. Period. I don't know why we got it, but we got it. It was 2016.
But I would think the way that they suck off the SEC. Yeah, I got you. I thought that that's an interesting statement to me. They didn't have enough bowl teams.
I want to save this one for tomorrow. Now, he gave me the 10 hardest schedules in college football, and they're all in the SEC. See, the 10 hardest and 10 easiest. The 10 easiest are all just like MAC teams that play MAC teams, and the 10 hardest are all just SEC teams. Like Auburn, on paper, has the hardest schedule in the country this year. Mississippi State is second, which sucks because I think we're really good. We might go 8-4 because we're playing Georgia and Alabama.
You know what's a better way to break this down is strongest and weakest out of conference schedule.
Yeah, bring that tomorrow.
Where does you start to look at West Virginia? Like, hey, they're on the hardest.
Who does have the strong? I know Arkansas's got a strong out of conference. They play Cincinnati and BYU.
BYU's got they're not in the conference, obviously, but they are running
out of control.
They're running a gauntlet this year,
and their win total's still like 8.5, I think.
Notre Dame's got a tough schedule this year.
Yeah,
Notre Dame plays at least 3 playoff contenders.
They have to go to Ohio State. They have to go to
USC. They got Clemson.
Yeah,
Notre Dame's got a hell of a schedule.
Tough
the volatility of the Notre Dame schedule every year is crazy because you never know if Stanford's going to be good. You never know if maybe
Florida
Navy
State,
is like an 11-0. Yeah, you never know.
They had to run that like Florida State, USC, where all were terrible for like 4 or 5 years.
Last year, on paper, should have been a good schedule, and all those teams were down. It made them look weak. But they're scheduling good teams. Like this year, that Notre Dame schedule is nasty, and that BYU schedule, they play 4 teams that think they're going to be good. They play Baylor, they play Arkansas, they play Notre Dame, and they play one more. And Oregon. They play Oregon. BYU can wreck a lot of seasons.
Yes. BYU can be in the playoff contention.
I was this close to doing Oregon under today. This close. I talked myself out of it.
What did Marty take on that? Over?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. But
I just don't think
I'm starting to think, and you might have said it, Georgia's going to beat the piss out of them in week 1. Georgia might beat them twice. Like if
Georgia's going to whoop that ass again, too.
If Georgia beats them up, it's going to be something.
Notre Dame also too is rotating in. Like it's only a matter of time before they play Michigan again.
Yeah,
and I don't know if they play Michigan State this year, but for a lot of years in early 2000s, Notre Dame played Michigan and Michigan State.
Was it Notre Dame and Michigan State that had the fake punt, the fake field goal? The fake field goal,
Michigan State
did it on 3rd down, and Brian Kelly was like, "Oh, what do you do?"
I'm pretty positive Notre Dame Michigan was the one where Eminem faked being like drugged. You remember that clip?
I don't remember that clip, but I do remember that. I remember that incredible game. That was an incredible game. All right, we got to get to picks. Big Av, I assume you still lead, so I'm going to let you go first.
He does.
So I am on a couple unders today, boys. The one already started. I'm on the Phillies today. I think it's going on right now. I don't know what the score is. I'm on the Padres Marlins under 7. Marlins are just atrocious. They just don't score. And I'm on the Astros White Sox under 8.
Yeah.
The low scoring series. I think it's dogfight again. Like I said, I'm on West Virginia over 6.
I have got just 2 in baseball. I have the Rays money line because, listen,
I don't blame you.
I mean, fuck.
I don't blame you.
Fuck. I like take advantage of it.
We literally just can't score.
Take advantage of a wounded animal while you can. Rays money line. Braves Mets under 7.5. I think it's not a last stand for the Mets, but it is a stand. They got to stand up. Scherzer's got to go out on the mound. They've got to give him 7 filthy innings and got to stop the bleeding a little bit. Again, not a last stand, but they need a strong performance on the mound tonight out of Scherzer. Cincinnati under 9.5 and Ohio State over 11.5. And also, did I not tell you? I must have added this late. I'm sorry. Iowa State under 7. That's also my other one. Go ahead.
Phillies minus 1.5. We have a lot of overlap. Rays money line and the Rangers money line. They're throwing a lefty today, and the A's are 11-23 against lefties. So I like the Rangers. Hit parade also hit last night. We're at 14.55.
14.55.
Goal is
Smoking it.
Goal is 20.
30. 30 units. Getting greedy.
That's the goal?
Yep.
Well, it's mid-August, and you're 14. You have to double it. And
We're going 2+ every time.
okay, all right, fair enough.
Just hit them all.
We've been lights out since July.
All right, fine. Do what you got to do, guys. Do what you fucking got to do. 10 seconds.
I love when it hits kind of right back to back.
Literally Altuve homer.
Altuve gets hit.
It was literally Altuve homer, and I switched over in the GameCast. Swanson was just up at bat, gets a single cash.
I checked the Altuve because I knew Blackman got the hit. Then I watched Altuve, and then I'm like,
It was funny.
I
You
go
were in
right
the
to
chat
Swanson.
saying it. Like I was already watching the GameCast on Swanson, being like,
I was
"Come on."
also in a weird spot where I'm like, I know the Mets ain't winning this game, so I just watched the bloop, and I'm like, yes, like rooting.
Well, that's what I knew that was going to be. It was a 7th. They were winning,
Oh, a cash in the 7th?
and Swanson was almost
gonna
definitely.
bat.
we only did it
not
once,
gonna
but we nailed it once in their first at bats. It was fucking done by the third.
I should cash twice if it does it in the first at bat.
That was like last week. We
Yeah.
hit all 3 of their first at bat.
All right, I think we have a heck of a yak coming up. Might be going all afternoon. I already ate lunch to clear my schedule because I don't want to get peakish. But so the yak is up next.